Hello humans, it's me again, and I have part 6 of The Legend of Zelda Vaati's Return. So if you haven't seen the last 5 parts, you should go back and see those ones. And just a heads up, this chapter is pretty long, so if you get tired, just pause the video and come back to it. Alright? Don't turn it off completely. Let's begin. Oh, Emily doesn't want me to begin. Masaru is left all alone in the sinkhole for hours. Whenever he attempts to escape, the sinkhole grows deeper and threatens to close back up on him. When the sun reaches its highest point, the rays beam down on him mercilessly. Masaru removes his blue cap so he can get slightly cooler. During his time in the sinkhole, Masaru thinks about all that he has done wrong so far. He can feel his hearts being depleted fourth by fourth. "Someone please help me!" Masaru cries out. A few branches are heard breaking somewhere near the sinkhole. "Help me!" Masaru cries out. Midna's little wolfy face appears near the hole looking down at Masaru. "Link, how did you get down there?" Midna asks. "I fell," Masaru says. "That's pretty deep," Midna says. Yes it is. I cannot climb out. I've tried, but I just fall deeper each time," Masaru says. "And you actually want my help?" Midna asks. "Yes, please. I don't want to die down here," Masaru says. Midna's hair hand extends and reaches into the pit. Masaru is confused at first, but then the hair hand wraps around him and he starts to be lifted from the pit. Oh, just ignore the helicopter noises outside. They're kind of distracting. That's not part of the story, sorry. Midna strains and grunts as she puts all her effort into saving Masaru. "You saved me," Masaru says, hugging Midna. "Not too tight," Midna whimpers. "Sorry," Masaru says, letting go and turning away. "Maybe you'll learn to watch where you are going and not yell at your friends," Midna says. Possibly," Masaru says. "Can you carry me? My legs are tired," Midna says. "What? Why should I carry you?" Masaru asks. "I'm a lady," Midna says. Masaru reluctantly lifts Midna off the ground to carry her. "You're so heavy," Masaru complains. "Maybe you should try to lose weight." "Link, I hate being a wolf," Midna wails. "My name's Masaru." "And what do you mean? Haven't you always been a wolf?" Masaru asks. "No, I had a form change when I came here," Midna says. "So, what were you before you became a wolf?" Masaru asks. "I was a twily," Midna says. "A toilet?" Masaru asks. "A twily," Midna repeats. "Oh my gosh, this whole time I've been talking to a toilet," Masaru wails. "No, I'm a twily, not a toilet. There is a big difference," Midna yells. "Sounds the same to me," Masaru says. "Listen here, Link. I saved you from a pit. I can just as easily throw you back in. So behave for me. Now," Midna commands. "Besides, as a twily, I was tall and skinny." "Tall, skinny toilet. I'll take note of that," Masaru says. Midna leaps out of Masaru's arms, grabs him with her hair hand, and dangles him above the pit. Okay, I'm sorry," Masaru wails. "So, I assume the Earth Temple is right through these woods. We better be extra careful," Midna says. "I wonder what monsters live in the woods," Masaru whispers. "Only one way to find out," Midna says. Masaru and Midna enter the Hyrule woods. Midna sniffs the air and snarls. "Link, I smell danger," Midna says. "What does danger smell like?" Masaru asks. Midna shrugs. The two wander deeper and deeper into the woods, eventually losing track of where the exit is. Only a little bit of light shines through the dense layer of branches hovering many feet above their heads. Suddenly, a Deku Baba pops up out of the ground and snaps at them. "Eep, Link, that's gross! Kill it!" Midna wails. "How?" Masaru asks. The Dekubaba's sharp-tooth-filled mouth is open vertically, and its long green tongue hangs out.
Don't be stupid. I've seen you destroy tons of these before. Do a vertical slash,
Midna says. Please remember that I am not Link, and I have no experience with fighting Dekubabas, Masaru says. He holds out his sword, but the Dekubaba doesn't feel threatened at all. It waves back and forth, snapping its mouth open and closed.
Come on, Link! Now! Vertical slash! Now!
Midna commands. Masaru slashes at the Dekubaba and explodes into purple smoke, leaving a green rupee behind.
See? Wasn't that easy?
Midna asks. I guess so, Masaru says. Masaru collects the green rupee. They walk onwards, but another Dekubaba pops up. This time, it has a horizontally open mouth. That's different, Masaru comments. He slashes at the Dekubaba the way he defeated the last, but the Dekubaba doesn't die. It just jerks back before lunging forward at the two.
No, that's wrong. You need to use a horizontal slash to defeat this Dekubaba,
Midna shouts. Oh, right, Masaru says. He performs a horizontal slash, and this Dekubaba explodes into purple dust and drops a green rupee too. Midna grins as Masaru bends over to grab the rupee.
You're learning fast, Link,
Midna says. That's because I'm not Link, Masaru yells. His voice echoes through the woods. Midna's already large eyes grow larger. What? Masaru asks.
Shh, you'll attract other monsters, Midna whispers.
A few screeches are heard and 5 bokoblins come running through the woods to attack Masaru and Midna.
Can you spin attack?
Midna asks, despite seeing his spin attacks just earlier. Yeah, I learned how at the Octorok minigame, Masaru whispers.
Well, we're going to need a spin attack right about now,
Midna says. Right, Masaru says. As soon as the bokoblins surround the two and are about to attack, Masaru does a spin attack to defeat all 5 at once. They get hit and explode into purple dust, leaving behind 5 rupees altogether. Wow, 5 rupees, Masaru says. He bends to pick up each one.
What are you saving up for?
Midna asks. I don't know. I just like grabbing rupees. I might need them in the future, Masaru says.
Don't grab too many. Temples tend to be stocked full of rupees,
Midna says. Ooh, that sounds wonderful, Masaru says. The two continue through the woods fighting more Dekubabas and bokoblins until they eventually reach the Earth Temple. The Earth Temple appears to be a collection of gigantic mushrooms stuck together. The very first mushroom has a door on it.
Well, Link, here we are,
Midna says. I can do this, Masaru says.
Or not,
Midna says. Masaru frowns and enters the Earth Temple. The first room he enters has a big pit shaped like the letter Z. One treasure chest is visible in this room, as well as 2 monsters that Masaru had never seen before. Oh no, what are those? Masaru asks Midna.
I think the mummy-looking one is a Gibdo, and that red bug is a red hardhat beetle,
Midna says. I guess I'll fight the Gibdo first, Masaru says. He runs up to the Gibdo with his sword out, but it glares at him, raising him in mid-swing. The Gibdo grabs frozen Masaru and squeezes him to death. Midna does nothing because she doesn't care. Ack! Masaru cries out before dying.
And you said you could beat Vaati, yet you cannot beat a Gibdo,
Midna laughs. Masaru responds at the entrance of the dungeon.
Still think you can manage the Earth Temple?
Midna asks. Midna, please, Masaru says.
If you should need my help, just ask,
Midna says with a yawn. The Gibdo walks right past Midna as though she's not even there to be attacked. Midna, could you help me, please? Masaru asks.
Oh, why of course,
Midna says.
Gibdos are weak to fire. Unfortunately, you have no fire.
That's not helpful, Masaru says.
Shh, I'm getting there. Hang on,
Midna says.
You see that pit?
Yeah? Why? Masaru asks.
I bet that pit would be a great place to trap both the Gibdo and the red hard hat beetle,
Midna says.
How about you give it a try?
Thanks, Masaru says. He runs up to the Gibdo to get its attention, and then quickly runs towards the pit. The Gibdo follows. Masaru dodges out of the way at the last moment and hits the Gibdo into the pit.
Now get the red hard hat beetle,
Midna says. Masaru smacks the red hard hat beetle over and over again until it falls into the pit.
Good job, Link,
Midna cries out. My name is Masaru, Masaru says.
Whatever, open the treasure chest,
Midna says. Masaru avoids the pit and walks to the treasure chest. Inside, he finds a dungeon map and a compass. Good, now I won't get lost, Masaru says, holding his items above his head happily.
Yes, and now you can check how big the dungeon is,
Midna says. Masaru looks over the map. I see 9 rooms, but the 9th is behind a big locked door, Masaru says. And the Earth Temple looks like a drooping flower that is losing a petal.
I wonder if they did that on purpose,
Midna says. Since there's no lock on the door between room 1 and room 2, Masaru walks right on through. In this room there are 2 more red hard hat beetles and a blue hard hat beetle. There is one monster in the room that Masaru doesn't recognize. It appears to be a tiny red jellyfish, but no water is around aside from a little dripping from the ceiling. This room has a pit shaped like the letter E. One treasure chest is in sight, and the next door is locked. Midna, what is that tiny jellyfish called? Masaru asks.
Tiny jellyfish? Oh, that's a beery. Usually they are with red bari.
I wonder why it's alone, Midna says. Masaru begins hitting the 3 hard hat beetles into the E-shaped pit. When doing so, Masaru accidentally strikes the beery while it is electrified. Ag! Masaru cries out in pain.
Whoops, I forgot. You can only strike a bari or beery if it isn't electrified,
Midna says. Masaru shakes himself off and stares threateningly at the beery. It floats around electrified for a while before returning to normal.
Now, Link,
Midna says. Masaru slashes at the beery and it explodes. A green rupee plops down near the pit and Masaru carefully reaches over and grabs it.
1 rupee.
If you collect a lot, you can get something good, Midna says. Masaru sighs and puts the rupee in his wallet. He then walks to the treasure chest and opens it, obtaining a small key. He holds it above his head.
Yes, a small key. I see it, Link. Open the next door with it, will you?
Midna asks. Masaru scowls and uses the key to open the next door. Room 3 appears to be almost completely empty. All Masaru notices is 1 beery in the center of the room and a treasure chest. Well, not much to see here, Masaru says. Agreed, Midna says. Midna notices something, but doesn't alert Masaru about it. Masaru steps forward and nearly gets run over by a spiky trap. Ah, Midna! Masaru screams, jumping over the spikes.
That's called a blade trap. You need to be very careful about them because sometimes they seem to come out of nowhere,
Midna says. Masaru glares at the blade trap and continues on to defeat the beery. This one also drops a single rupee. Midna winks. With the beery defeated, a key drops down. Wait, if the key is there, what is in the treasure chest? Masaru asks.
Why don't you go see?
Midna asks with a yawn. Masaru collects the key, holding it above his head. Link! Midna yells. Masaru puts the key in a pocket in his tunic and opens the treasure chest. He pulls out a yellow 10 rupee. He holds it above his head and Midna does a face palm. I guess that rupee is a little bit of good news, Midna says. Yeah, I have 24 rupees now, Masaru says.
How did you even get over 2,000 rupees so quickly if now you are only making a little at a time?
Midna asks. Masaru shrugs his shoulders.
Anyways, let's get moving. On to room 4,
Midna says. Masaru unlocks the door and steps in. This room has a treasure chest, 3 gibdos, an L-shaped pit, and 2 monsters Masaru doesn't recognize. There are 3 doors attached to this room. A giant monster-shaped door with a large keyhole, a door blocked off by iron bars, and a door that requires a regular key. What are the skeletons called? Masaru asked Midna.
Those are Stalfos.
The red one throws bones at enemies, Midna says. Right as Midna says this, the red Stalfos throws a bone and it hits Masaru. Masaru dies again!
Oh, seriously?
Midna yells. She teleports herself back to the temple entrance where Masaru has respawned. Ouch, they need to stop killing me, Masaru says.
Oh, look, you have to go through those rooms again,
Midna says. Masaru groans and goes through the rooms 1 through 3 again, collecting 2 more rupees and bringing his total up to 26. He manages to not die this time somehow and goes back to room 4.
Dodge the bones this time. Knock them into the pit,
Midna says. Masaru gets to work and knocks them each into the pit. The regular Stalfos gets hit and dies before it reaches the pit. It rewards 5 rupees and Masaru's total goes up to 31.
Ha ha, 5 rupees. Don't spend them all in one place,
Midna teases. Nothing costs less than 5 rupees, Masaru says.
Exactly, it's a joke,
Midna says. And that's the end of part 6. See, that one was a bit longer. And so, part 7's for tomorrow. If I get around to it. I probably will. So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe to the channel. Bye!